Hey guys, welcome back to Pocketing Eights. I'm Connor, and today we're going to be doing a comparison video for Raven cues. We're going to be doing a review on one of their brake cues and give you a little sneak peek here. It is going to be between a Predator BK Rush and the Raven brake cue. So let's get right into it. And all right, so as you can see, we have in front of us the Predator BK Rush, which is here on the right side, and we have the Raven on the left. So we have pink, very, very bright colors, and they did this for a reason. Both of these were sent over by Raven for review. Huge thanks to them over there for letting me get a chance to review these and show you guys what I personally prefer at the end of the day. I'm still going to be extremely honest at the end of the day. And first of all, we are going to take a closer look at the colors because that could be a make or break for some of you. So on the Predator BK Rush, I'm going to try and get this as best as I can on camera. It is a more dull and muted pink. You've got the BK Rush with the Predator logo right at the top of the joint area. And then as we come over to the Raven, and I'll put these right next to each other, you can see there is a very distinct color difference. The Raven actually shines brighter. I don't even make that up. It is a much more vibrant pink, and it has a lot more flake in it as well. The Predator, you can see it a little bit more pronounced because it is like a larger flake. At the butt of the cue, you can see it is black with the Raven logo, and then the Predator has their stainless steel with their BK Rush little butt cap on the bottom. Both of these will always come with joint protectors. And then we have their shafts. I'm gonna get some weights on these in a second. Don't worry, we will get a little bit of measurements here in a minute, but here are the shafts. And I have no clue what material they actually truly use for the tip of the BK Rush. Otherwise, my assumption is that it is some sort of G10 or phenolic material with this little vault plate up here. And then this is a 7-layer hard, super hard tip that is most likely resin infused. And then here is the Raven. The Raven has a phenolic tip. Now the specs we'll get into in a minute because there is a slight difference between both of these shafts, but let's go right over to taking some weights on these guys for comparison, get some weights on the shafts, and get these set up. All right guys, so I apologize in advance. My scale is actually a little off right now, so it's not fully balanced, but it is getting a reading and it's looking more correct than it was before. So the Predator BK Rush with the shaft fully on is coming in at 18 ounces on the dot. And then we are gonna weigh the Raven, and the Raven comes in at 18.4. They do feel really close in weight. The balance points is a little different, but I do apologize. We will get a new scale to actually weigh our products out in the future. But let's talk a little bit more about the shafts and the butts and what makes each one different from each other. All right, so we are back at the table. We are no longer at the countertop, but let's talk a little bit about what makes both of these separate from each other. So not only do we have a unilock, which is a mini unilock joint here compared to a radial. Now you might be wondering what the key difference between those is, and it comes down to your shaft connection. So over time, radial has proven to be a more solid connection through and throughout, and you don't have to worry about when you're braking this coming loose. When you tighten this, it is nice and tight. I have owned unilock before, and unfortunately there have been times where it does back off even though I tighten this down really, really hard. Now the benefit to the unilock is that you can put your shaft together extremely quick. Unless you are in a tournament setting or you are changing shafts that much throughout the night, it really doesn't make or break your decision between a cue. Now, the butts, they are both comprised of a maple core, and then you've got the paint on the outside. The Raven is clearly a more aesthetically pleasing pink. And then on your shafts, so the Raven has actually done a pro taper on their brake shaft, which not really many people do. So what the pro taper is that it stays a consistent length all the way through for a certain duration. And so what that duration is about 15 to 16 inches. You will have 12.9 or 13 millimeter from the tip all the way down. And that's gonna help with a more consistent, smooth stroke. With the BK Rush, the BK Rush shaft has a, I believe is what they call a slow rise pro taper. So it will start off as one size from the tip. It will kind of keep a consistent size through, but it is slowly rising as you come through. Now, one of the other things I really do want to talk about is the weight and the balance. The Revo, or I keep calling it a Revo, guys, oh my gosh. The BK Rush shaft is extremely light, and it actually feels like it's hollow. So when I will put my microphone actually down so that you guys can hear this, because when we go to do a little sound test here, this is really high pitched and tinky, and then here's the Raven. They use a more dense material through the shafts, which makes it a lot more a better sound signature when braking. Now, we do have another shaft that I have been working on. This is one of Raven's, but it is not the main star of the video. Once I grab it and pull it out of my bag, I will show and explain to you guys. I have worked on the Raven brake shaft before, and so this is one of my shafts that I have done custom work on. It's a phenolic white pad and then a layered leather tip. You can hear that both of these have a more dense sound to them versus the high-pitched tink. It is really, really light and whippy through the carbon on the BK Rush as well. So if we are lucky enough, maybe the camera will be able to pick it up in slow motion, but the Revo, oh my gosh, the Revo BK Rush shaft has a lot of bend in it versus the Raven, which uses a thicker carbon. One of the other things we have to note is the tip option. So Raven has chosen for the phenolic tip ferrule combo. So this really helps ensure that it's simple, that there's going to be no issues when you first go to start using this. One of the key points that is different with this is that this is one layer of, we'll just say phenolic, which is the black. You have a white pad and then the tip. So you have three separate connections. You have the connection from the shaft to the ferrule, then you have the pad, and then you have the tip. So there is a few more spots for this shaft to fail on you. It is probably extremely unlikely, but however, this tip that Raven provides, if you wanted to put a different tip on here, you can machine this flat and then you can install whatever tip suits your braking style. And I will say that this shaft is amazing and simple, and it just works really well. We will put these on the table here now, and we'll get a couple brakes. We'll do about 5 or 6 brakes with each one for 8-ball or 9-ball. All right, so we are going to just use the ball rack that comes here at my clubhouse. I am using my personal ball set so that it's a little bit easier to pick up on camera. But not only that, also I have a TV ball set, so it's a little bit more high contrast. We are starting off with the Predator BK Rush. I'm going to do 5 breaks of 8-ball with the BK Rush, and we'll just kind of do a quick little edit through the video, but I'm going to be doing the same break each time, which is a cut break. That's the one I'm most comfortable with. And to note, we are not adding any extensions. I usually put a mid extension on here to compensate for the length because I'm a huge guy. But we are going to use the BK Rush first, so let's get breaking. And to note as well, I'm going to be hitting a little low right to try and get control off the cue ball. All right, so we're gonna go and break with the Raven 5 times now, and let's see how we do now. Same thing as before, we're gonna be doing the cut break with like a little bit of low right, center ball hit kind of. This is my most consistent break. This is what I typically use in a league night. So depending on how you break, the cue does not necessarily change how you break. Now, I will say I feel a little bit more confident with the BK Rush because I just had a lot better breaks with it, but I've had some amazing breaks with the Raven cue as well. As you can see, we got a couple balls in on the break. 8 was tracking towards the pocket. We're gonna switch it up and we're gonna use a template rack now, and we're gonna break 9-ball. All right, so now we have a 9-ball setup. I'm gonna be doing like a box break, even though the 1 is on the spot, the 9 is not. This is my way of testing to see if I have good control and breaking power with the cues. But this is a 9-ball on a template rack, and we're gonna be breaking from the box. We are still using the Raven, and I'm hitting basically like a center low right. Damn, that was a good break. 1 in the side, and we made a wing ball. The low right with a open bridge. We'll get two breaks in with each cue because I think we're gonna be running out of time here shortly. I would love to extend the video out, but I get kicked out of my clubhouse here at 10. I wish they would make accommodations for the Pocketing H channel, but we're not that famous, so. All right, we are using the BK Rush on a 9-ball template rack. right, so as part of my bonus clip, I have attempted to make as close to a Revo on the Raven brake shaft as I could. We're gonna still be using the pink butt. I have a joint adapter here, so it's a radial to unilock. Cool little thing, but we are using a Kamui Sai control brake tip, and then it is a phenolic and then a white pad. But this is what I think is the absolute closest to replicate a BK Rush. And I will do my final thoughts at the end and do a little bit more explanations on stuff. But this is a couple brakes with my Raven Q that I have tried to replicate a BK Rush. We are still using the 9-ball with the template, and we're gonna still be doing the box brake.
While I'm wrapping up these last couple brakes, I want to give my final thoughts on the Raven brake Q, and it does everything that the BK Rush does, if not better. The carbon is stiffer, the phenolic that they chose is really, really good, and if you don't like it, you can swap it out to whatever brake tip you think suits your style. At the end of the day, a brake Q that doesn't break the bank is what we're all looking for, and Raven has knocked it out of the park with this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.